Well, hello, Porch. How are you? I'm Red Dirt Preacher, also known as Lainey. Welcome to the Unorthodox Spiritual Home for you and yours, where we don't do religion as a box. We do spirituality as a great big circle. Acceptance. All right. 369 design. 369 holy design. All right. Jesus is very much alive. The Spirit is very much alive, and the Spirit is on the land. All right. So now that we know where we are, churches all the time, and we're with family here. So I'm an 11 kid who loves Jesus Christ and took it to the ridge and back, not only to the hill. This video is my rough draft of what Spirit put in my heart to run and go tell it on the mountain. So Porch, Lainey's got to get a horse and take off riding with some other people right here in Georgia, right here in my own home. You know, it's not my hometown, but that's where I've been living now. So it's where all my stuff is. So I'm going to start right here in Georgia because it's not what I personally want. It's because I want to obey the Lord. And the Lord says, go ride. And I'm like, this is exciting. So I'm going to do my best to tell you what Spirit told me 2 to 3 days ago. And it lit me up. Oh boy, did it light me up. It lit me up so good. I tell you, save it with dun-dun-dun. It lit me up. So I don't have a way to like drum roll this. I just have to like get in the mood of it. I have to get in the fire of it, get in the passion and the spirit of it. And then once I go, turn your volume down because I'm gonna go. Whew. I'll close my eyes because when I close my eyes, I'll be with the Lord. I'll be with the Lord. I always look to the left or either disconnect physically, optic eye from you, and tune my attention always to the left. And when I go to the left, it's because tune my attention and merge my attention and my energy with that of the Spirit. So, and then we work in tandem, we work together, and then what I'm doing is what God wants done. Amen. By the way, I'm just going to tell you this. Back in the day, about 10, 12 years ago, and beyond that, in speckled parts of my life, I worked as a caregiver for a quadriplegic once for 3 years, and I worked as a caregiver for a paraplegic. And the reason this comes in handy, because in my personal life, Jesus used it as a way to teach me how to work with him. He said, I do not have my body right now, but you have your body. Amen. I said, amen, in my kitchen while I was doing some mama dishes. And he said, you know how you work for quadriplegics and paraplegics, right? Do you remember that? Yes, I do remember that. And when the only thing they could feel is from the collarbone up, or if the only thing they could feel is from their head up, they're very particular about everything that gets done. Blow my nose, brush my teeth, wipe my face. These people have this mapped out, okay? It's the only thing they can feel. They're very attuned to it. And what my job was to relax of my mind, relax of my own thinking, relax of what I wanted to do. Because when I worked for these people, they wanted blankets folded a certain way. To me, it didn't matter as long as the blanket got folded. Well, it does matter. I'm an extension and getting paid to be an extension of this person's intention. You hear me, crowd? I was getting paid to be the bodily extension of what their free will wanted. So if they wanted the blanket folded a certain way, then I must fold it a certain way because I'm respectful of what they want. That's why I got the job. See, I'm an extension of their body. And I didn't know how deep these lessons were going to go until I started walking with Jesus. And he said to me, you might as well go off thinking that I'm a paraplegic, quadriplegic, because my body is down, but my spirit is up. And I will talk to you because you are an extension of my free will, of my will. You're an extension of my intention. So, Lainey, I will then ask you to lie down of how the way you want to do things. I'm going to ask you to fold it the way I want it folded, to eat it the way I want to eat it, to deliver it the way I want it to be delivered. Because that's important. And it's my word. And you're here to represent, be an ambassador for it, respect, honor, and make forth my word. No more or less than you were for people back in the day when you were being paid as a caregiver. Oh, that's a good one. That's good. Jesus be using my own life experience to teach the Bible. I love it. So that comes in play when I tell you about what's going to happen here soon. Lainey's a prophet, and I don't mean to brag. We're all prophets to tune the ability, tune in the ability, and I hope to teach you that. I mean, I can teach you that if you want to do some one-on-ones. It's not that I fell out of my mama any more special than you. It's about how much we love God back, how eager we are, how curious we are. And really, I run on mystery and curiosity. Jesus had me at sea, curiosity. I'll go to the ends of the earth and back. But let's not take. Let me get home back here. Let me get home back. What I came here to tell you tonight was the excitement that I had from what he told me. And here we go. So if you're just tuning in, skip ahead, tell your friends. Mile marker, 5 minutes in. Jesus was telling me we were at a precipice moment. I'm going to misspeak, do all that Laney does, but please listen to the Spirit as he does what he does through me as I lie down and let him stand up. He said to me, you guys know you're in the end times. You know you're in the great times. The separations that you're feeling are here because it's alchemy, baby. It's alchemy. Alchemy, because you know what? God's not going to come down and get his hands dirty and sift through the house looking for the people. He's just going to ask us to mark our houses, no more or less than he did back in the day in the Bible. We're going to mark our houses now, and our houses right here, we're going to mark our house with the watermark. And gee, that's why the separation's happening. It's why the Great Awakening preceded all of this crap, fissure, separation. The great United States, separated states of America. We're so separated. All this separation is very mimicry of the twin flames and the separation. Tell me that twin flame journey didn't learn you nothing. Separation is a great thing. Separation is a great thing. And we were going through a left and right, sheep, goat, wheat, shaft separation. Vaccinated, unvaccinated, black, white, Republican, Democrat. We are separating. Vaccinated, unvaccinated. I'll say that one. You know what I'm saying? Narcissist and empath. We are separating. And here in America, to me, I can smell it coming because it's like smelling an iceberg. It's your job to be a watcher on the wall. You should be able to smell ice coming. You should be able to smell the devil coming. You should be able to smell it coming. If you're a prophet, your job is to be warning others because you're receiving through the Spirit, right? Mile marker, Holy 11. So that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's why I ain't perfect at. That's why I smoke and have my coffee and cuss a little. Man, I'm just working, bringing the message rather perfect. I'm not. We ain't got time to wait on Laney to get perfect before she spits out the message. Right? So, we have always been asked in history. History doesn't repeat itself because it's damned to repeat itself, or it's fated to repeat itself. It repeats itself because we just damn don't learn. You keep going through, cycles and relationship patterns in your life, whether it be your career, your relationship with money, your relationship with women, or men, or whatever, what have you. There's patterns. It always falls apart for me, because you got to learn from that shit so you can get out of that stuff, right? So America, what I smell is it's like a war. We have a war. We're already in a war. Spiritual warfare. We're in a war. And it's like what we have on the inside, we're going to manifest on the outside. So it's like, if you could stick your nose out the door and smell, what do you smell? I smell a civil war. We're not stupid. Americans, we smell a civil war. Not sure of what grandeur, but we smell it. What is this separation of left to right that's happening? This vaccinated, unvaccinated, this north, south, this east, west, this narcissist empath. What is happening here? We're separating. And that's, so I want to speak upon that. It's like they're going to offer us two choices. And that's just like the devil to offer two choices, and we think that that's the only options on the table. The only options are to stay and put up with the shit or have a scorched earth policy. There is no, come on. There's 1,000 ways to raise your kids. There's 1,000 ways to skin a fish. There's 1,000 ways. There's always a better way. And, I have this ability through Jesus Christ and what he's put in my body and in myself. And I have this ability to spot things that are in the void, things that aren't there. I see them in a big way. I see the negative space, like turn the ketchup bottle upside down. There you go. Who figured that out? That was me. I see it, not that it really was, it's an example. But I see things that need to be flipped upside down, or I need to be augmented just a little bit. And I definitely see things that are in the void. And what I see here is that we have another option, an option that might be sight unseen. And it's as if we're being offered by the universe, by alchemy, by by whatever. What's coming to us is a choice, a fork point. That's why the porch is hopefully setting up with my voice, a holy haberdashery at the fork of the river. So we don't lose anybody here while we experience this grand change. And they're going to offer us what smells like a civil war. They're going to offer us something like that. You know what? That's a low vibrational war. I think if we're going to have a war here, we need to have a revolutionary war. Now, this is where Spirit takes on everything most of the things I'm going to be saying, I would say at 92% from here forth in this video is going to be things that I got from Spirit 3 days ago. And he invigorated my spirit, told me, this is what you do, kid, go get a horse. And I thought, wow, that's going to be great. So I don't know what he's asking you to do, but he's asking this kid till you go get a horse and say some awesome things. And here's a rough draft of what he was telling me. Every single war, people will pick apart the details here. We've had wars in the past here in America where it's either red or blue. When the Revolutionary War hit, Paul Revere wrote, and he said the redcoats are coming, the redcoats are coming. And it was the blue-coated patriot that was holding up the flag at Fort Henry. Come on back here. Let me light you up. Now we're going to get on fire. Do you know that the commander of the British Army that was sitting there on the boat with Francis Scott Key and other other captives, okay, they were other captives are patriots and they're held below deck, right? So Francis Scott Key is being asked by our men below deck, is our flag still there? Is our flag still there? Is it still there? Is it still there? Yo, Francis, is our flag still there? That's why it was penned in the song. He heard it all night long until dawn. These men sat down below boat being held captive. Anchored down by British soldiers. So that way you got a box seats to the destruction of what was going to be America. Fort Henry. Okay? And there they sit. Remember Francis rowed his little boat across and got on the big boat and said, hey, let these guys free. And the little shithead British guy was like, no, I'm not letting them free. But you can sit right here and watch the destruction of Fort Henry. And when we're clear here, then I'll let your men go. Oh, well, damn. Let me go warn them. No. Francis, you're going to sit right here and have box seats to the bringing down of this America. Okay? The British commander pointed everything he had. The entire British... We have to remember this. Then I'm going to be a holy reminder. The British beat down on Fort Henry with everything they had. Their entire armada. Okay? And they did this till dawn. And the flag that represented the new America was hung on the ramparts there. Okay? And as long as that flag held out, America still had hope that we could still be born and create over 200, 300, 400, 500 years of democracy, of freedom. And it was under God that we did these things. Amen? Watch this. Let's remember the men below who said for hours, is our flag still there? And Francis would say, yes, our flag is still there. And, after hours and hours and hours of this, the British soldier, the British commander walked up to Francis and he said, hey, who the hell's holding that flag up? And he's like, oh, yeah, those are patriots. Those are patriots holding that flag up. Good luck bringing it down. So once he heard that, he then barreled down on Fort Henry and barreled down on the rampart itself, bombarded it. Okay, after hours of this, the dawn is coming up. And the commander comes back to Francis and he's like, are you kidding? That flag is still there. We have put every might that we have, pointed at that rampart to bring that flag down. What is holding it up? And that's when Francis said, but these are Christian patriots. Now, I know that over the course of 200 years, the idea of being Christian has really been hurt. And, it's taken on a damaged image. But you have to remember that we are talking about Americans who believe in Jesus Christ and God, in some form of higher intelligence that is love, because love is the greatest of all. These were our forefathers. These are who we're from. We're the ancestors. We're the grandchildren that helped hold up that flag. And yet we sit here behind our iPods bitching that our marriage papers of the Constitution are literally being burnt in front of us with an invisible fire. Because it's happening. Do you have rights? We can barely speak the truth and we're all bitching about it. We can barely be Americans anymore. We are being literally turned asunder. It's as if this sickness and the way to heal this sickness of the vaccine are... Do you know what we're doing? We're killing the body to save the arm. And someone needs to say it, and I told you I was official somebody, so somebody said it. Who's got to say it? I'll say it. We're killing the body to save the arm. Yep, we're all going to be healed, but we're not going to have America that is sovereign, that is free, that is accountable, and that is made of we the people, because we're losing that by the day, okay? And here's the biggest thing I wanted to say. With the vaccine going around, what did Paul Revere say? And this is what my Holy A-team reminded me. Now we're going to get excited. They say, Paul Revere literally said the shot heard around the world. And then he took off to tell everyone that the redcoats were coming. And Jesus told me the other night, this shot heard around the world is the one in your arm. It's the shot heard round the world, and it's your speech. Now go tell it on a mountain. So we share this. Tell the message of what is being said by writer preacher. We are starting a movement here. You wanted a revelation? You got one. And I would rather mark us before they mark us. And so that's what Jesus was telling me right before the storm. Get you and your brothers, because they're out there. All you got to do is bang a drum. Stick 1111 like a bat symbol up in the sky, and they will show up. Speak with a 369 love design in your mouth, and they will show up. Tell them to stop allowing history to repeat themselves. And not this time. We're not going to just think that we have to choose red or blue. Okay, and even in the Civil War, yes, I understand the slavery was horrible, believe me. And I guess I understand about racism, I get that. It's not to devalue the message of that. But you have to simultaneously remember that the Civil War was also tremendously about the state, about a state's rights. A state's rights to be sovereign for themselves and represent their people. So yes, it was a race issue, but at the same time, simultaneously, it was a state's right issue. And just like we have a health issue now called a pandemic, states' rights are being squashed. This is a very big deal. Our school systems are owned by the government. This is a very big deal. They're from the state, by the state. We're representing that. Do you know that parents all over the world are going to school board meetings now with the FBI present to throw them out because they're called enemy combatants? We're allowing this to happen. It's happening. And no, we're not going to do this because now we are Fort Henry. We don't need a bay. We don't need a geographical place to have a church. We are the church. Be the church. We don't have to look for the truth, seek the truth, or even speak the truth. We are the truth. Okay? So we come into a place where we don't have to geographically be Fort Henry anymore. We are Fort Henry, together, united. Do we remember this? And if we fail now, then we have failed every single generation that has stood up for us to hold a flag so we wouldn't be put asunder. And I'll be damned if this iPod generation is going to sleep behind the wheel and let America fall on our watch. Hell no. That's bullshit's not happening. So I feel like somebody's got to show up. They said somebody, that's applicable to me. I'm just a somebody. So what Jesus was telling me was, go tell them that this is coming. There is a spiritual fork in the river, yes. But don't confuse that fork for having out here in the real world for picking red or blue this time. And even in the Civil War, I know technically the colors weren't red and blue, but when you think Confederate flag and you think North, you think red and blue. Our own dividing sides now is Democratic Republican. It's still dividing red and blue. And it is so odd because these are the exact same colors that are united on the flag, red and blue, but they're the same damn colors that always split us apart and make us pick sides. And I can't let history repeat itself on my watch. We've gone through so much, and we have made our beaches red and other people's beaches red. For the sake of this, what we are, Fort Henry, Christian patriots, hold up your flag. And you know what? Let's go back to that story. In the morning when the dawn rain, and Francis and the others got off the boat, they walked up to the ramparts. Do you know what they found there? The flag still hanging, a little bit crooked, at a 40-degree angle, but still up. And battered and shattered, of course, but when they walked up there, you know what they saw? Bodies of dead fathers and dead sons piled around this flagpole. Because what was holding it up was human hands. They were manually holding this up. And where one would fall, another would take its place until that flag was still standing in the morning. And that's when Francis pinned what he pinned. I think we need to remember that. So Jesus was telling me, we don't have to choose red or blue. We don't have to choose left or right. We don't have to make this solidified. So if I run out there right now and I start a revolution and a revelation, not because I started it because I was bored, because it's laying here like a powder keg on the floor right now. And if we don't get up and control our bit, we're going to be controlled. If we don't stand up and say, then somebody's going to speak for us. If we don't stand up and number, we're going to be told to sit down one at a time. And we can't do that anymore. We're greater than this. So literally here, being born on the porch is a shirt design that I'm going to let loose in 24 hours. And it is literally the greater than symbol put over the division because we are greater than the divide. Be greater than the divide. We have to just lay down the racial river right now. We'll come back to that, okay? Because we got bigger to do right now. We'll come back to the fact that you're Democratic, Republican, and who you voted for. America and her Constitution is divorcing and burning, and we should do something about it besides just pick a damn side. And I have a solution here, and it's to be the solution that's in the void. You know, you could get up from the table when your life sucks and you're playing to everybody's roles and expectations. You know, you could get up from the damn table and go live a life all your own with Jesus. We can get up from this, is what I'm saying. And we could choose a completely different path. And so what I propose is what Jesus asked me to do, which is to pick the color yellow. Why pick the color yellow, lady? Because I picked the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag. Because as a prophet on Easter this year, Jesus came to me and spoke to me in spirit. And he never did this about the Gadsden flag, ever. And I'll tell you, preachers that I went to, on the corner of Walgreens and Happy and Healthy, all the churches I've been through all my life never preached on the Gadsden flag. But Jesus preached it to me because he knows I'm a little John Wayne, and it got to me that way, so let me give it to you. I already did this in a video, and it's on YouTube where I keep all my medicine, herbal medicine. But because it's poignant tonight, let's bring it back up. He brought up the Gadsden flag on Easter, and I'm going to bring it up now. And the reason I was weaving this into this revolution that he's asking me to go slow clap is because it's pertinent that they are connected. And I'm going to tell you why right now. This parlays to Easter this year when Jesus came to me Easter night, the night before Easter. It was like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And he came to me in front of a living witness, and for a few hours, with nothing in front of me but the Bible, and I got the dictionary once, and I told you as a prophet, there's only two things I need, the Bible and a dictionary. Throw me in a hole and I'll come out knowing some stuff. So Jesus brought to me the Gadsden flag, and as a redneck that's been growing up in Oklahoma, Washington County, and just say what it is, blue yodel number 9, for those of you that know what I mean. I understand what he was telling me. So, hang on, I'm gonna light up a cigarette, drink a little coffee. Slow down, hang on. Hang on. So he was telling me about the Gadsden flag. I mean, when I was 16 to 17, 18 years old, we bought one and we stuck it in the back of a 4x4 and ran up and down Main Strip. We thought that was cool. I never thought anything more of it than that. And Jesus said to me that night, he trained me to know, I don't remember exactly verbatim how the conversation went, but this is what he told me to know. And this is what I bring you. The Gadsden flag, the snake of Don't Tread on Me, was actually Noli Me Tangere. Literally, chase it back, look it up. Okay, a little bit of twist on that, Don't Tread on Me. I think it was Alabama's first flag. They actually had the phrase Noli Me Tangere on their flag with the same flowers and the snake. Noli Me Tangere actually means do not touch me, and it was something that Jesus told Mary when he first walked out of the tomb. He said, do not touch me. Noli Me Tangere, don't tread on me. And I said, oh my gosh, I didn't know that it had its roots in Jesus' mouth. And he said, yeah, do you know why I said don't touch me? You got me there. I could Google a reason, but I'd rather you just tell me. And Jesus said to me, because it was my sovereignty. It was my sovereignty. I had yet to see my Father. I am fresh right here. You was spat again. Y'all feel like I'm a little Gallagher here, the throwback, 1991. Don't sit front row. So anyway, Jesus was saying, Noli Me Tangere is don't tread on me. And I said that to Mary when I came out of the tomb because it meant don't touch my sovereignty. Well, hey, guess what, America? Jesus told this prophet to go get a real damn horse, ride around like Paul Revere, change my clothes, go out in the real community, and pick a flag that's not red and blue this time. Not that it's devaluing the American flag, but we need something new, and we need a token to fall underneath. And he said to take the yellow in the Gadsden flag, turn that snake into a snake eating its own tail, which is our burrows, which is an infinity sign, which is a lot like God was telling me to do, and that's God's language, and it's his thumbprint. And he said it's an infinity sign because we were all part of this golden thread, this golden tapestry. We all are part of it. We are one. I is me, and me is we, and we are one. And he told me, if you're going to do this, this is how you're going to do this. You be Paulette Revere and go tell them, instead of the redcoats are coming, go tell them oppression is coming. Because it is here, and it's right inside of America herself, and it's poison, and we're allowing it, and no more allowing it. We need a revolution. We're waiting on somebody. We're waiting on somebody just to bang a drum, drop a ball, make a loud sound, because this is a powder keg sitting here. And it's my job as Heyoka and an Aquarius and a prophet and all the other crazy things I do in God to follow Crazy Horse and a lot of other archetypes and go light a match and throw it and make it go boom. We need a wildfire of good people to stand up in mass. And that's what we were here for, 11:11 style, Great Awakening style. But we're also being called now because we are needed here right in our own communities to stand up in great number, stand up on that ridge and just be quiet. Just show up so that the powers that be know exactly that we are here and we are accounted for. And no longer are we going to just sit here and allow something so sacred as our marriage papers, the Constitution, Uncle Sam getting together with Lady Liberty and God and having all of us. We are a holy family, and this nation, whether you like it or not, was completely built on God. Okay, that's why this nation has always been set apart, because we built this nation on God, and our founders built this nation on God, and somehow we lost that. So we need a revolution, we need a revelation, and we need a great baptism. And there's a great awakening going around, and we just had a great resignation of all the jobs, and we're going to go into a great depression because of the crash we're going to go through and the lack of groceries. And we're going to go through a great dust bowl because the West is going to turn into a big dust bowl and blow over the rest of us. So next year, everything's going to be covered in dust. We are going to go through hard times. These are marked and merited in the Bible. And it's, Spirit ain't a liar. Spirit's not a liar. So what he was telling me was, he was like, go represent a third option. Go represent a unity option. Pick the color yellow because the yellow is the goddess and flag. The yellow is the color of the sun, S-O-N, S-U-N. Yellow is the color of the chakra that is creating willpower. Use yellow, because it's like the sun. So he said, pick that color and go ride and change that Gaddison flag. Not that I'm replacing it all. We just need a token for this time, for 2021, the revolution that America is walking itself into. And I don't want a civil war. We don't need that. That's a lower vibrational thing to do, and that doesn't get anywhere besides separate us and make mamas cry. All right? We don't need that again. We don't need to act like history didn't teach us a powerful damn lesson. We can choose to have a revolutionary war where we just wash America of all the bullshit and we let the Great Awakening take over and we stand up a new nation. A new nation. The same nation, but baptized, washed clean, and set back on good foundations. And I think this great demolition is definitely a holy alchemy. So what I'd like to offer is what Jesus asked me to do. Go get a real horse, run as Paulette Revere, go tell them that oppression is coming in many, many ways, because you're a prophet and I told you, so go use your spiritual mantle, and we need a token. So change the flag, change it to something new. We need something new to unite under, because I'm going to refuse to pick red and blue. I'm not going to choose to hate another American or have contempt for another American because the sitting president told me to, because they didn't get a vaccine, so that might make me sick. I'm not dumb enough to to blame shift my own brothers and sisters. I'm not dumb enough to believe in gaslighting when I see it. I'm not that dumb. God raised a lot of us to be really damn smart. And we've gotten really wise as we've walked through narcissistic energy. And out here in the world right now, the man without a face is narcissistic energy that's on every single continent all around the globe. Every continent is dealing with oppression, tyranny, what's all looking like communism, just spread all over the world. So I don't want to choose red or blue this time, okay? We need to choose yellow together, to unite under a golden tapestry, to unite under the infinity sign, and actually a snake eating a snake eating its own tail. Look it up. It's called Ouroboros. It has its roots in ancient stuff from here to there to Alpha, Omega, and God too, and Christianity. So don't get it twisted. A snake eating its own tail is full circle. It's life, death, and rebirth, and that's what it means. And America is going through life, death, rebirth. Is that not what you went through on your own spiritual journey, in your own kitchen, your living room, driveway, garage? You did it all on your own. So micro, macro, where you've been, they will go. So yes, we're going to go through the life, the death, and the rebirth. And Jesus said to mark that, that's where we're going. So you better put on your flag the very symbol that represents that. And it's the snake eating its own tail, which inadvertently makes the infinity symbol, which connects us all under a golden thread. That's why I was so pissed off today when I got home, and I got wholly mad because I found out today that Mark Zuckerberg created Metaverse and used a bent, twisted blue version of the infinity symbol. And I got pissed because, like, damn, I just came upon this in divine timing to ride out and slow clap a revolution that we're all sitting on, that we all want, we all need. And I want to be like this third option. Get with me, not behind me. Get aside me. Run with me. Wear yellow. Show them that this is the movement forward. We are of the light. Hello, what color is the light? Yellow. We're just going to do that. So we just need to show the hell up. And we needed somebody to bang a drum. We need somebody to point the way. So I'm literally going to get a horse, ride probably out here to Macon, Perry. I don't know, I'm in Peach County, Georgia. And this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to let them know that Paul Revere is here and that I'm telling everybody that there is oppression coming, what it looks like, and to join what I'm doing, to wear yellow and show up at the ridge. Let them know by number and in mass that we're here. We're not putting up with this bullshit. And maybe we can't sit and talk all day because nobody's going to hear each other. We can all be quiet together and show up. And that is the loudest thing we could have ever have done. Isn't people's silence, and for those of you that's been ghosted, isn't silence such a loud talker? Isn't it? So if we want to move stuff, Jesus said to me, show up silently in kind of a way there. So I just wanted to show you that I'm not picking red and blue and how that was relevant in the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. And this time that's what they're offering us. You guys are going to have a war. We're going to separate you. You're going to fight amongst each other. It's like they're setting us up to do exactly that. We can't fall prey to some old ass paradigm that we've played over and over and over. Our generations, our grandfathers played this loop. We are here to stop that shit right at our feet. That's why you're woke up. That's why you're awakened. Okay, is because we are stopping and crushing the shit paradigms that we don't want to take forward anymore. We are no longer taking with us things that don't serve us. In this crap of oppressive government pushing the people down into tyranny and forcing us, to pit against each other is no different than a narcissistic family that pits families and pits siblings against siblings. Come on, it's the same damn blueprint just played out in the entire damn America right now. So we have to, like, America needs a spiritual counselor. I'll just do it. America needs counseling. Come here, get on the porch. We need to talk. So if we're going to do something about it, this is what I mean. To do something about it. So within 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to have bracelets available to you that are yellow, that have the infinity symbol on them, that let you know what tribe you're belonging to. And hopefully we get these bracelets around the world, because it's not just America, it's Germany, it's Portugal, it's Brazil, it's UK, it's every nation around the world that is going through the exact same problems that America's going through. So, like America has always been before, we stand up. And we're leaders in that. We're the big brother in that. And why fail us? Why fail the world now? Stand up and be a lighthouse. So America herself could be a lighthouse. That's why I'm choosing the color yellow. Be lighthouses. So the bracelet is something you could order, okay, here soon, and wear it. I also will have bumper stickers available so you could stick that on the back of your car and let everybody know that if you didn't pick sides, that you're here, you picked unity, you picked yellow, you picked togetherness, you picked unity, you picked the golden thread, you picked the light. That's what this is about. And there'll be t-shirts along with that that'll kind of mimic or reflect, if you will, the Gadsden flag, but I'm going to change it to the snake eating its own self, even eating its own tail, because Jesus told me to. All right? And there's all kinds of meaning in that, so just let that 369 holy design itself right onto your, buy the t-shirt. And after, and like I said, I'm also making the flags, because if I'm going to go ride out here like Paul Revere and tell him that oppression's coming, then I need a flag. So it's great because there's a lot of horsemen here in Georgia that I told this message to. They got lit up like fire and decided to ride with me. So this is going to be amazing. I'm setting the event for about a month from now, and to be announced on location to start, but we're going to do a 10-mile walk with horses. And, we're bringing it. And why are we doing this? Because Paul Revere is here. That energy is here. The warning is here. And tell who you must. And I think that right there is enough to get us into the revolution that we need to have, the revival of spirit that we need to have in brotherhood. So we can't let America go to sunder. And, this is what I can do. It's brave. I've got nothing to lose. I only got 2 people who really, really like me. So So it's great when God takes things out of your life, because you know what? I wouldn't do this if my mom and my dad and I was still trying to be in my family group and get, pleased by, careful, I can't be too this and can't be too that, screw Bill Belichick and that crappy ass quote that people live. I can't have too many highs and too many lows. Yes, you can, because that's where the learning's at. And that's an EKG machine, baby. Highs and lows. And that means I'm alive. Right on? So, slam dunk on that one. So now you know my holy plan. And literally, I think I've got next week to do this. I made a lot of phone calls. I'm going to make this happen. And even if I go out there and only 3 people on a horse for a month, it's okay because I did it. I showed up. And between me and God, that's what he wanted. He wanted an obedient servant, no matter if he asked me to do the hokey pokey in the shower when nobody was looking, because that happened. Or he told me to do the dishes because that's the first thing Jesus asked me to do. Or he told me to build a church. Oh my God, I don't know what, So, I love to do whatever. I'm just sitting here dying anyway, and time's going to march on, whether I'm helping or not. And we did not take this 11-11 path to snooze. I did not go through all that twin flame help stuff. I did not go through every single classroom of the fruits of the Spirit. I didn't go through all that for the last 7 years to continue just the peak of my day would be to smile at people at the grocery store. There's more than that. And I just if I'm living here in these great times and I have these gifts, then why in the hell aren't I just doing something crazy? Why aren't I just out there doing something crazy? Anybody care? Probably not, lady. They got their own damn problems. That's true. Nobody gives a crap. And we have to stop living for the idea that people give a shit about what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, nobody really cares. It's a sad fact, but it's true. So give yourself full permission to go out there in the world and do crazy shit that needs to be done. Amen. Mwah. So that's that. I'm not choosing red or blue, and I don't want you to choose red or blue. We're going to choose yellow. We're the third option. We're the unity option, and we are here in number. Whether you're talking about the 1111 crew, you're talking about a soul tribe family, you're talking about the Great Awakening, or you're just talking about Americans who are not wanting to hate their own American brothers and sisters for having the freedom of choice. Are you kidding? That's what America is. We're the land of freedom of choice, and our sitting president has now taught us to dislike and hold in contempt our fellow American because they did a very American thing. They made a choice. Oh, shit. Burn them at the stake. This shit is going to get serious, and it's a sickness and a poison that is happening quicker than you guys think. So we need to stand up for who God has. God has created all of us to be lighthouses, mouthpieces, speakers, shamans, movers, and shakers. Go-getters, okay? That's what he's made us to do. Bing, 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 ringing a bell, cat's out of the bag, the great big call. It's time to go. So get a horse, pick a uniform, paint your face, grab your feathers you've been collecting, put all those coins and pennies you've been finding in your pockets and all that stuff you do, and get your ass on the porch because we gotta ride. Riders in the sky. Anyway, I'm gonna go. 2-minute warning, Lenny. Give him a 2-minute warning. Don't just leave. Anyway, it's crazy because when God gave me this idea, I was so inspired. I was really inspired. And I told my friend who was sitting there as a living witness as I was receiving this inspiration, I told him, I said, how the last 3 months God's been telling me to go out in the street, get out in the street with your message. I'm like, oh, no. Well, God was like, I'll send Paul, Paul Revere is going to be a great archetype for you. Go get a horse and go tell them oppression's coming. And start speaking. I give you the gift of speaking. Bring a bullhorn and talk from the horse. And I was like, wow, that's so much better than my idea of taking a microphone and a boombox out to the curb and talking from Walmart. Wow, this is great. We'll start there at the horse and the yellow flags and shirts. We'll do that. We'll do that. Success or not, I'm obeying God, and that's my payday. That's my holy high five. At the end of the day, I keep my husband and my father happy. And when he's happy, I'm happy. Right on? Happy husband, happy life. Happy father, happy life. Happy Jesus, happy wife. That's how it works out. So, all right, we're going to do fun things. Come on. Y'all just sitting around. You want to bang a drum, make some noise, piss off some bad people? Come on. We in good company. All right. My band of outlaws. I'm going to have to talk to you guys tomorrow. I need some sleep. So, resonate on what I said, and if you liked it, do share it with your friends, share it with your family. It doesn't just help me, it helps the message, and that's what this is about. Keep it pure, keep it clean, get your damn egos out of the way. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Like I say, stay kind and stay out of your mind. Love you all. Let me turn this thing off here.